Hello and welcome to the Kuma Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to assemble a model kit and then start another model kit. I'm also here to hang out with all of you. And I'm starting things off by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. And if you feel like just being a lurker, you don't want to say anything at all, well, you can just lurk. That's also okay. It's currently a Thursday, if you didn't know. And I'm currently at 26 subscribers. The goal is to get to 30. I shut up about the number of subscribers I have when we hit 30. So if you want to become a subscriber or you want to gift a sub to somebody in the community, you could do that. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. Happy to have you here. Again, as I said, it is a Thursday. And it's model kit assembly night. We're going to finish up the GYAN Strom high grade. You can see here. Jam just subscribed with Prime. That's 96 months. That's so many months. Thank you so much, Jam. Let's throw a Bear Cave Lego site. Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Thank Jam so much for the continued support. Thank you very much, Jam. I appreciate that very much. Thanks for using your Prime Gaming token. Or as they say, Prime Gaming Tolkien. They don't say that. But Amazon, who owns Twitch, of course, also owns some of the rights to the Lord of the Rings. Not all of them, because Embracer owns some of them. I don't know where it all goes. But some of the Lord of the Rings have been embraced, and some of the Lord of the Rings are owned by Amazon. So it was a joke. Anyway, we're at 27 subscribers now because of Jam renewing. So we bumped up 3 away from me shutting up about how many subscribers I have. But we're going to finish the GYAN Strom, as I was saying, and then we're going to jump over and start a new model kit. We're going to work on the Optimus Prime Classic class. This is the Transformers 1 O-N-E. Transformers 1 version of Optimus Prime. That is the animated movie from a couple years ago that I have not seen, but I feel like I probably should because I think the character designs are pretty cool. We've also built their version of Megatron, so I'm interested. You know, it's very Cybertronian, which makes sense because I believe that's where the movie is set, is on Cybertron. It's, you know, before the events of Gen 1, I believe. Maybe a retelling, maybe a reimagining. I don't know. I couldn't tell you because I haven't seen the animated movie. I will someday. That's about it. Let's go to the main overhead camera. Here's the over camera. Here's what we've been working on for the past while. I thought I could finish this kit up on Monday, but that was a lie. That was wrong. It's a misunderstanding. There were just so many stickers that went on all over this backpack area, our flight pack here, that it was just, there was no way I could get it done. I just couldn't get it all done. So we still have the shield, and we don't have that much of the shield to build here. Just a few components, really, to put together. And then we have to attach the shield. So I believe I want to put it on. Yeah, and there's a cool part we can put on the shield there, and then we can put the shield on the arm, I believe. Although, maybe it only goes on the hand. And we'll have to take this hand apart. I was hoping I could put it on the arm, and then I could still hold this weapon. But I might not be able to do that, now that I'm looking at it. No, wait, no, I'm sorry. I can attach it. I can attach it to the arm. So good. All right. There are various ways to attach the shield. We start with stickers. If you thought we were done with stickers, you were unfortunately wrong. We have all of these stickers here, and they go on our shield. They go on the little indent here on the shield. So I need to start applying those. I have an update from a previous story that we've covered. Lord Christ says, "Hey, Pat, I'm here for some stickers." Well, good. I'm glad. I'm glad someone is. New story, update. This is a fucking crazy news story. This is it. I was not expecting to make this update. I'm very pleased to tell you that Dark Horse Comics is going to voluntarily recognize the Dark Horse Workers United. They are acknowledging the union. This is from Jay Comas, who is the interim CEO of Dark Horse Comics. He put out a statement on Dark Horse there, put out a press release. Voluntary recognition is an unusual step for employers. There's a whole statement, but this is just, I think, the most important thing. But in doing so, Dark Horse intends to reaffirm its commitment that the new leadership wants to do things differently and enter into good faith bargaining. Not because we're required to, but because it is the right thing to do. The path to be a strong Dark Horse runs through a workforce that feels heard. Let me get this sticker on before I keep reading this. Respected and genuinely invested in the company's future, not one that feels like it must fight just to be seen. And you may remember that one of the reasons they were looking to organize was because of the previous head and, found guiding force of the company disembarking and them feeling, pretty lost about that and looking for some stability. So, good on Dark Horse for voluntarily recognizing. You could make the observation, and I think it's a reasonable one to make, that perhaps folks at Dark Horse Comics saw what Wizards of the Coast is doing right now. And, decided, hey, maybe that's not the way to go about this. Like, this company is small enough and so many of them want a union that we're probably not going to dissuade them from doing so. So why not just fucking go the other way? And then maybe negotiations will go more in our favor than they would otherwise. Who knows? But either way, they are voluntarily recognizing, and that is great. That is unusual, and it is cool. If you haven't been keeping up with fucking Wizards, they are legally required to send in a list of all employees that are eligible to vote to the labor board, the National Labor Board. And a key bit of information that I have to stress to you is, it is not, as some people have said, well, they have to put your legal name. They don't. The list of names just has to be employees. It can be whatever name you want. It doesn't have to be your legal birth name or what's on, your ID. It can involve nicknames. It can involve married names, because some people get married and culturally take a last name, but don't legally take the last name. It can be whatever they want it to be. Wizards, through either neglect, accident, or maliciousness, sent a list of employees that included dead names of trans employees. And they were called out on it, and they apologized for that happening, and they did not correct it. So in order for employees to vote for or against a union who are trans, they have to use their dead names. I've said before that, Wizards is scared, huh? And they are. Wizards is unbelievably scared that the arena team will unionize, and it will cause a ripple effect to other teams that are not on a games crew to also organize. And so they are doing whatever they can to prevent that union from going through, including meetings where they do everything they can without crossing the legality line to discourage people, sending letters to people's home address, saying about how that they want it to be the way it's been, where employees and employers can openly communicate, and how they don't want people to get in the way of that. Which is union busting tactics. Hiring lawyers who are very good at busting unions and preventing unions from forming. They're not acting in good faith. Again, Wizards doesn't legally have to recognize a union, of course. And the same thing as we said with the folks at Dark Horse, that they don't legally have to do that. But they are Wizards of the Coast is making it very clear they do not, absolutely do not want a union to form with their video game team. Like, they very much do not want that. And what they're doing is clearly union busting, but also they are now making it very clear that anyone who works at Wizards of the Coast in any capacity should very much unionize. Because Wizards doesn't want them to have a union. So all of them should unionize, company-wide. Every division. Every employee who is not in management should join the union. More updates to come, I'm sure. But yeah, they're scared, and they're also assholes. Fucking Wizards. Team 17 has confirmed that they have laid off 2 employees. It's a UK studio, and they're laid off in marketing and communications. This is Team 17, from Worms. They do other stuff, but that them from they're the Worms people. They're the self-publisher developer of Worms. But they laid off a couple people. Turns out it's only 2. It seemed like it was going to be several other people, because they had big layoffs a couple years ago. So people were assuming there would be more big layoffs. Apparently this is a small batch, but it is still noteworthy to mention. They also publish Dredge, Hell Let Loose, and Overcooked. So small layoffs there. We haven't had a layoff story in a while. So speaking of that, PlayerUnknown Productions is halting development on Go Wayback and laying off staff. This is the studio founded by Brendan Green, aka PlayerUnknown. This is let's see. Yes, they are halting development on Prologue Go Wayback. Restructuring the studio to a smaller team. It was apparently this game had launched in early access. This is my first time hearing about it, but it launched in early access back in November of last year, and they decided they're not going to keep working on it. Seemed like a neat project, but I guess not neat enough for most people. Yeah, I guess so. They hope to return to it in the future. They're working on an update that will push it out of early access and make it free to play. So then again, they can return to it in the future. Last Week's a terrible name. If I heard about it, I didn't remember. Yeah, I think Prologue Go Wayback sounds like a mistranslation. It sounds like a different game that was like double translated. For those who have purchased the game, the team is investigating offering refunds to customers, which is more than you hear from those kinds of things. The studio was founded in 2021 when they broke off from Krafton. and Crafton has a minority stake in the company. Apparently Prologue is the franchise that they were going for. So Prologue is the name, and then, which is also bad. That's just bad. Doesn't sound like what the guy that made PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds would name a game. Yeah. I don't know how many people got laid off. We don't know that. That has not been announced, but there were some amount of layoffs, and that they're reducing size. I want to talk about this because I think this is neat and it's long overdue. I skeeted about this, so I will go into a little more detail about it as I mentioned about it. Art Hub is coming to PAX. Penny Arcade Expo is doing their own version of Artist Alley, and they're calling it Art Hub. The artists you'll see in this area have official credits from their work within games or are original artists inspired by gaming culture. Avatars, sprites, character models, trophies, and they mention how this has been a high demand for PAX attendees, and we're excited to see it come to life. This is long overdue. Now, as you may know, the Penny Arcade boys are kind of like the hosts of PAX. They founded it, but then they passed on the running of it to Reed Pop. A long time ago at this point. And I believe that Mike doesn't go to PAX anymore at this point. He's kind of like, doesn't want to travel anymore. But I believe Jerry still does. But don't quote me on that because I have not been in a bit to any PAX. But starting at PAX West, they are introducing a new thing, which will be this hub. And I think that's great. Chris Straub always hung out in Bandland. Now, for those that have never been to a PAX, they have a thing called Bandland. Bandland is just an area for the bands that are performing that weekend to have a place to sell merch and do little meet and greets and kind of promote that they're there. It's like a free area that is part of their deal. And Penny Arcade wanted to have a place within Bandland. They were like, well, Loading Ready Run's coming, and we don't want them to have to buy a booth on the show floor, so they can go there. And, well, Chris Straub wants to sell stuff. He can go in Bandland. And at PAX Unplugged, there are no concerts, so they call that area Brandland as like a play on words. You also may remember that Bandland is slash Brandland is where League of Heels had a table. I've mentioned this before, so I'm not speaking out of turn. We never paid PAX a dime. They allowed us to have a table to help promote our panel and sell merch, and we did signings, here and there in character because I thought that was fucking funny. If you've ever wondered why we did that, it's only because I was like, Aaron, it'll be a fun way to promote. Let's ask a couple people if they would like to come in character and do like a table signing thing. And Aaron thought that was very funny. And then I also got to do something where like Kate Stark, who had a meet and greet with Twitch, I was like, if you want to do like a supplementary meet and greet, and that's the way for people, like it's a lower pressure way for people that are your fans of your Twitch channel to come up and say hi to you that might not want to wait in line, or they're maybe don't love being on the show floor that long in a long line. There won't be much of a line. So we were able to do something like that, and like it was kind of fun. But yeah, we just had that. We were in Bandland. Now, Bandland should have been renamed Brandland or PAX Friends. That was the other thing that I suggested years ago. Just call it PAX Friends, because you're just like, oh, it's people who are friends with like PAX. Great, easy. That's why like the guy that made Zits is here. That's why Bill has a table in Brandland, and you're like, yeah, this makes perfect fucking sense to me. And it's like, yeah. I don't know if they've renamed it. I don't think they have renamed it. But anyway, there were a couple of years where Strip Search was a show that they did a reality show. Penny Arcade, for a while there, basically made Penny Arcade TV, and they were like doing a bunch of different things. Brandland is a cute wordplay, but I don't know if people want to be called brands. Yes, Lashbrook. Brandland is a cute wordplay. If you know that Bandland is the name, it should just be called PAX Friends or Friends of PAX or something like that. Because you're just like, oh, okay, yeah, it's their friends. Cool. Or free tables, which would make people think they can come and take the tables because they're free. So that would not be a good name. Anyway, Strip Search was this reality show they did where they got a bunch of webcomic artists to do some stuff, and it's fun. It's old now, but it's kind of fun to go back to it. And that PAX East, they said, hey, anyone that was on the show, we can double the size of Bandland. You can come to Bandland. And so Bandland kind of became Artist Alley because there were so many people there that had tables that were selling stuff of the comics they made. Quite a number of people. And they did that, like PAX West did it. And so there were some people did it for a few years as they kind of like figured their shit out and kind of figured out how that was going to work. And then eventually that kind of died down because the folks were busy or whatever. A couple of them started working for Penny Arcade, so they had other things to do. Mega 64 always has a booth on the show floor. Mega 64 could have been in PAX Friends. Totally would have worked for them. Anyway, eventually, I commented to a friend of mine who works for Penny Arcade, worked for Penny Arcade and then worked for Reed. And I said, like, so why don't they have a place for like webcomic stuff? Like, there had been a East Coast, Topatico had a convention for webcomic artists. Topatico was a place where you could sell merch, and they focused on webcomic artists, and it was a cool website. And then it wasn't. But they had run a webcomic focused Artist Alley, like a web focused Comic-Con, and there have been a few of them that popped up here and there. And I was like, Penny Arcade, like PAX could be the destination for people that want to see their favorite webcomic creators, like webcomers. Like you could make your own webcomic focused like Artist Alley. And they were like, the guys don't want, this was again, Mike and Jerry don't want PAX to be a Comic-Con. They want it to be like E3 for fans. And I was like, okay. So it was just like, yeah, they didn't want that. People have wanted something like that for a while. They've wanted more like of an Artist Alley type thing at PAX for a while, mainly because the show floor is loud because it's people playing video games. It's just loud. So it would encourage like a whole different kind of thing. Also, hey, I am not speaking out of turn when I say this. Convention attendance is tough post-COVID. It's just hard. It's just a difficult thing. And big and huge gaming companies don't do conventions as much anymore. So it's harder to get those people to come out there. And big games from big publishers drew people to these kinds of conventions. So they're looking for something else. And I don't think they're wrong for it. I think it's cool. I'm a big fan of the idea. So yeah, Art Hub seems neat. I'll be interested to see if anybody I know ends up going to it, but and how it works and all of that. I don't have any information for you about it other than they announced it today. And I think it's a good idea, and I'm glad they're doing it. I should say this as well, before we move on. One last PAX thing. I want to go to PAX Unplugged this year. I do not know if I will be going to PAX Unplugged this year. I want to go to PAX Unplugged this year. So I am actively pursuing the opportunity to go to PAX Unplugged to do improvised postmortem, board game edition, to do the panel, maybe to be on other people's panels, perhaps. I'm trying to find out if a friend of mine who we had discussed doing a panel together about improv warm-ups for D&D players. It was the panel idea that we had, which was just like talking about improv, like kind of like talking about improv and yes and all of that, but also like giving practical things that would also include a like vocal warm-up section, and we would literally run the crowd through vocal warm-ups. That has been discussed, but I would have to know if that friend was interested in going to PAX Unplugged this year, and then we could maybe pitch that as well. But I'm actively I have a desire to return to Unplugged. And so I don't know what will come of it. But I'm putting it out in the universe, and then I'm also gonna work on that, just so you know. Hey, Europe will be getting a new version of the Switch 2 at some point. In 2027, you will be able to, in Europe, you will be able to buy a different, and I would consider better version of the Switch 2. Because that version will have replaceable batteries. Because of the European Union. The European Union, if you've ever wondered, hey, how come when I bought my new iPhone, I could just use USB-C in it? Well, that's because the European Union was like, hey, you have to, if you want to sell in Europe, standardized charging. And they did not want to make two different iPhones. So they just make one iPhone. They didn't want to make a European-only iPhone. Now, Nintendo is saying, well, we'll just make a European-only Switch 2, which is not as cool. It would be cool if they just universally said, all right, well, fine. We're going to change the Switch 2, so now it does that. They're not doing that. It would be neat if they did. The new EU regulation goes into effect February 18th, 2027. And new model of Switch that will let players easily swap out its battery should something ever go wrong with it. Which also doesn't necessarily mean that they will revamp and make it easier to open, but I believe if they don't, they will get sued. So one can imagine they also make it a bit easier. Right now, if you want to open up your Switch 2, you have to like remove stickers from the side of it. Like, it's kind of wild how buttoned down the Switch 2 is compared to even the Switch 1. So they might just make it so like, yeah, you can replace it. You can replace it. It's just a pain in the ass. So we don't know right now. But I'm bummed that they aren't just redesigning all Switch 2s and just doing their own version, but it's also not terribly surprising. All right, let me clean this up, and we're done with this kit just about. Once I clean this shield up from the panel lines that I've put on it, spruce it up. Let's see. Speaking of the Switch 2, the tarnished edition of Elden Ring, which includes the Shadow of Eldtree DLC, is coming to Switch 2. People talked a lot of shit about that demo of it at Gamescom, and apparently they fucking said, all right, yeah, well, we're working on it. Don't worry about it. We're working on it. We're gonna fix it. Don't worry about it. Sounds like they are indeed working on it. And this version is apparently better than that. At GDC, Rebecca Valentine played it at GDC and said it was extremely fine and did not run like shit. And those are quotes. That's in quotes. This Kotaku story quotes Rebecca Valentine as saying the port was extremely fine and did not run like shit. And I think that is fantastic. Every once in a while, Kotaku just fucking goes for it in a way that I appreciate it. And that happened here. And again, I appreciate it. All right. The Sony State of Play happened, and a lot of things got announced. Some of those things are... Now, I should say, I don't own a PS5. When I say some of the things announced are for me, I'm more talking about, like, are for me in that there are games that I'm interested in hearing more about, and I like the idea that they exist. Or, like, I am excited for old heads that love rhythm games, that there is going to be a nice way to play Guitar Man. The kids might find out about Guitar Man, and that makes me happy. I'm very happy that, like, because I know that Maury Calliope, VTuber extraordinaire Maury Calliope, is going to stream Guitar Man when it comes out on PlayStation Network. And she has some young fans, and she's going to have some of those fans are going to learn about Guitar Man for the first time, and that makes me happy, because Guitar Man whips ass. Also, the worst people you know are very mad about Wife of War, as it is unfortunately been nicknamed. Some people are big mad. Big mad about a God of War with a lady. They're just big mad about that. Everyone I know who is in the games press that has seen with their own eyeballs Wolverine said that trailer must have been really fucking compressed and does not do the game justice from what they've seen. I can't tell you for sure because I don't fucking know that stuff, but I keep hearing Wolverine looks a lot better than that trailer from people that I would say probably know. Anyway, this kit's built, so I just gotta take a photo of it. We built a shield. It had stickers on it. This kit is fucking awesome. I had a good time putting this thing together. Now I'm gonna take a photo of it, and then I'm gonna start working on Optimus Prime. My second ever time building an Optimus Prime model kit. The first one was from a company that's not BLOKEES, and it sucked. I'm hoping this one will be a lot better. But I imagine it will be, because the other, the Megatrons I've built have been good. So. Fighting Souls continues to look cool as hell. Dr. Doom, Magneto, Green Goblin, Carnage were there. You gotta have that. I didn't think Wolverine looked graphically bad, just didn't need the hyperviolence. Well, that's going to be the game. It's going to be red. I'd like them to make a new Rayman. They're not good. They're making a remake of Rayman. Rayman Legends Retold here. It is a remake. It's coming out October 1st. I would like them to just make a new Rayman. I think Rayman is neat. Anyway, I'm done with this kit, so we're going to move on to other things. Oh wait, I'm so sorry. There's a whole component I didn't put on here. The shield has a beam weapon, or it's a beam shield, and I completely forgot to put the beam shield on. So I have to do that right now. I'm so sorry. I noticed there was a sprue that I didn't use, and I'm like, wait, what's this sprue for? And the answer is, it's for the beam shield. That goes on that's on this page, the beam shield. It goes on behind it. I got to put this beam shield on. And then I got to take a new photo because I fucked up. I'm just going to go over the highlights here. For me, anyway. Bancho the Chef is a prequel to Dave the Diver. And that's a sentence I wouldn't have expected to say. It's cooking mini games and such. Seems kind of cool. Bancho seems pretty neat. Hey, they're using fucking generative AI to work on Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis, which I need to remind you is a remake. They fucking went out there and said, "Oh, we're using it for like storyboarding and concept, but everything else is handcrafted." And it's like, it's a fucking remake. What did you need to storyboard? What the fuck? Fuck off. Fuck out of here. In The Lost Wild, dinosaurs are fucking coming for you. It is a narrative adventure game produced by Annapurna Interactive, and you are racing for your life from goddamn dinosaurs. And I don't think I need to tell you more about that. Fuck yeah, dude. We need more fucking dino games. We need more goddamn dinosaur games. Also, look at this fucking shield. Look how cool this goddamn shield is. Look at that shit. I can't believe I almost didn't put this beam part of the shield on. I goofed so hard, everybody. I gotta fucking get this on here. There. Whoops. It fell off. This fell off too. It goes too hard. I'll just leave that off. That's okay. I don't need that on. So let's see. I probably need to pull back this more to make room for this, is my guess. Yeah. Yeah, all right. That's enough. We can get this on here. There's another Dune. Dune Awakening was on PC. It's coming to the PS5. And it will have a new single-player mode. So if that's what you've been holding, you think they throw the shield Captain America style? They should. I bet they don't, but they should. A remaster of Dynasty Warriors 3, which I was about to make a joke about that being like, who the fuck wants that? But I don't know about Dynasty Warrior fans. This might be a classic for you. So this might go hard as hell. This might be the coolest fucking announcement of so far for y'all. I don't know. I don't pretend to know shit about shit when it comes to Dynasty Warriors. So I hope that you're feeling fucking hype. I don't know. I have heard about No Rest for the Wicked. I feel like I've heard about this game forever because it has been in early access for 2 years, but it is leaving early access and is going to become a game that you can actually play in 1.0. It is it's a Souls-like RPG. Onimusha, they got a new Onimusha game. That's coming out September 25th. There is a demo that you can download on your PlayStation. I got to take a photo of this now, and then I'll keep looking at this write-up from Kotaku of all this shit here. Let me get my whip down a little so I can see my whip. There it is. We'll go like that. Yeah. Yeah. Taking a great photo. Excellent. Photo taken. September 24th, the day before you can play Onimusha, you'll be able to play Silent Hill Townfall. Silent Hill fans are feasting. They are eating so well. I'm very happy for them. I'm also very happy for my friends out there who are big into another game that got that is in a long running series. Hold on one second. Let me get rid of the GYAN. There we go. Moving over to our BLOKEES. I don't like how small. They're smaller kits, as well as they don't want to play any of the other 15 games out that week. Yes. Silent Hill Townfall is coming out on the 24th. Silent Hill fans, just getting games. It's great for them. I do not love this small instruction manual. I do not like that. That is a thing that I do not enjoy about the BLOKEES kits. I find it to be a fucking bummer. It's all in color, and that's nice, but they're small. And I'm 45. I'm going to turn 46 this fucking month. Ace Combat 8, Wings of Thief. I was not watching this show live, and I was very confused why there were people on my timeline that were just saying Thief, Theve, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna have to learn what fucking in joke am I not a part of right now? What do I need to know? It turns out that's what it was. It was Ace Combat 8 Wings of Thief. It comes out October 2nd. Yes, this guy doesn't know Thief. Indeed, Lord Grashington, roast me. It will include a port of Ace Combat 0, The Belkin War, if you pre-order the game or get an early physical copy. To which I will say, don't pre-order games. Remember, don't pre-order games. Just don't, because everyone could be the bad one. Fucking Saber Interactive must have been told, hey, you gotta make a new version of an old game. You don't get to make new stuff. Because Saber Interactive is making a fucking Stuntman game, and they licensed stunts. Unfortunately, Bandai Namco doesn't make old game bonuses available outside of the pre-order early purchase. Yes, they should be punished for that by selling less pre-orders than they would otherwise. People should wait until the game comes out and buy it then, and punish Bandai Namco. Because it's a bad policy. License stunts in Stuntman Hollywood. Knight Rider, Miami Vice, Back to the Future, and other popular films and TV shows. They fucking do some fucking DeLorean stunts. That's just a really good fucking pitch, man. It's just a good ass pitch. Do some goddamn motherfucking stunts. Do some drive kit and do some goddamn stunts. That's cool, man. That's a fun, cool idea. Ill, which is a first-person zombie game. It's coming out next year. That's from Team Clout, which I've always thought is a bad name. It's kind of funny, but I don't think it's a good name. Team Clout. Just like, okay. Sure, my guys. Control Resonant, which is the hack and slash style game in the Control universe, which is just an odd idea, but I'm into it. Starring Jesse's brother Dylan. And it's going to be rough. And that also comes out September 24th. Dirty says, I'm part of the problem, but only for games I know I will play no matter what anyone says about them. I get that, Dirty. I get that. I get that there are sometimes where it's just like, yeah, I'm going to pre-order because I just want to like make sure that it unlocks early or they're probably not going to put out too many physical copies, so I want to get a physical copy. Like, I fucking get it, but we should still not be pre-ordering. Especially digital versions. We should stop. Also, hey, when I say we, I include myself, because I've only done it once, but I have done it. $10? $20? To play it a week early, 4 days early, when they aren't going to put a patch out for the first 24 hours anyway, and the game is going to be fucking busted? We got to stop doing that. We got to stop doing it. I've only done it once. I'll never do it again. I promise you. I will never do it again. But we got to stop that shit. Pay to play it early, and that's all you get is the game a little early, and it's going to be fucking busted. It's going to be busted. They showed some stuff for Marathon. Marathon Season 2 is out. I am going to be playing that this weekend. I have nothing to say about Marathon yet. The new season of Marathon until I get a crack at it this weekend. And by weekend, I mean tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to be playing some. So I'll probably talk about it on Saturday. Until Dawn 2, I got Tuesday, I got to explain to someone that's never seen an Until Dawn game or anything like it, that kind of style of game, what it was. And they were like, is it just like a choose your own adventure horror thing? And I was like, yes. You can play it with people and take turns making the decisions. It's a good party game. And they were like, oh. Well, yeah, that sounds good. I was like, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's not necessarily my cup of coffee. Oops, I put this piece on, and I was supposed to put another piece on first. I was supposed to put on B1 or D1? D1, yes. I fucked up, everybody. I was supposed to put this piece on before I put on the head part, or the other part of the head, so I goofed. Now I get to see if I can separate these pieces without it becoming a fucking problem. Let's see. I might have to use my X-Acto blade. I don't recommend doing this unless you absolutely have to. I'm doing this so lightly. I'm separating this so lightly, just enough. Yes, okay. I don't recommend that. I probably could have looked if I had something that was thinner than this spudger, but I do not recommend just shoving a blade around when you need to remove pieces of a kit. I would say don't do that. Do as I say, not as I do. God of War Laufey just seems fucking cool. They're like Egyptian gods around and stuff. And also some Greek gods that are definitely dead. And it seems neat, man. I don't know. It seems neat. I think that's it. Oh, update. I bought the Sega Genesis Lego set. It hasn't shipped yet, but I bought the Sega Genesis Lego. Am I going to call it the Mega Drive? No, I will not be calling it the Mega Drive. I will not be setting it up as the Mega Drive, which you can do. I won't be doing any of that because it's the fucking Sega Genesis to me, because that's the system I owned. I owned a Nintendo NES. I owned a Sega Genesis. Then I owned a Super Nintendo for a brief period. Then I owned an N64 and a PlayStation. Then I owned a Dreamcast. I also had a Dreamcast. Forgot to say. I also had a Dreamcast. Then I think my next console was a GameCube. Yeah, I had a GameCube. And an Xbox. And then I didn't have a PS3. I bought a second PlayStation 2 because I had sold my PlayStation 2, and then I got another PlayStation 2 because I wanted to play Persona 4. So I got a PS2 for that. And then my roommate had a PS4, and then of course Nintendo handhelds, but I didn't get all that. But yeah, I got a Sega Genesis because my cousins had a Sega Genesis. So my parents got me the same system they had so we could play the same games together, which didn't make any fucking sense because we weren't taking our Sega Genesis over to each other's houses. It was just that they got a Sega Genesis for the sports games, and my parents were just like, all right, well, we'll get Pat that. And I was like, oh, but there's no Mario on this. Now I'm over here playing fucking Sonic the Hedgehog and having a good time with it, but where's my Marios? There's no Tetris on this. There's no Tetris on this. Crazy. I never owned a Saturn, but Chris Kohler owned a Saturn. Digital Eclipse's Chris Kohler owned a Saturn, and my buddy Matt owned a Saturn. And then eventually when we had Dreamcast, we got the adapter so you could use the 6-button Sega Saturn controllers with the Dreamcast. So I did own a Sega Saturn controller so that we could play Marvel vs. Capcom. X-Men Street Fighter was the best game for the Saturn, right, that I played. I only played a couple. The Genesis did have the better version of Shadowrun. Dirty, I believe you. That did not matter to me at the time. Just didn't matter to me. I'm looking to see if there was any other notes I want to talk about here. We got a couple more minutes for that. There will be more things to talk about on Saturday. On Saturday, we'll have the actual thing, which I don't plan to watch, so I'll just be looking at recaps. It turns out I don't like press conferences and stuff. I don't like watching them. I like recaps of them, but I don't actually enjoy watching them, and I guess I just don't give a shit about them. So let's see. Yeah, because there were some today that I heard about. We got Summer Game Fest and Day of the Devs on Friday, and also the Accessibility Showcase, which is a good name. Let's see. A version for the phone. Got it. And then Saturday there is the Wholesome Direct, which I do plan on watching. Lorca says Model Kit Studio got announced as the playtest available right now on Steam. Okay. I didn't hear about that. Model Kit Studio. I will investigate. I do have to put up a poll for my patrons tomorrow for my $3, $5, and $10 patrons about what I do on next Tuesday. So I do need to do that. I got to do a poll about what I should work on next Tuesday. Or what I should play next Tuesday, I should say. So I do owe y'all a poll. So I'll get to that. And then on Sunday, I'll have to run a poll because I'm going to... Actually, on Saturday, I'll run a poll about what I do after this because I think by Saturday night, I will finish this. So there'll probably be... Maybe I can wait till Sunday and just pick something. Because I think it should take all of... It might not take all of Saturday to finish this. I don't know. I'm probably going to have to run 2 polls right on top of each other. I should have run the poll for the $3, $5, and $10 patrons today. I should have done that. But also on Saturday, Wholesome Direct, I'll probably watch it. Do like that one. And then I'll just hear about the other ones, the future game show and all that. Sunday, I don't think I'm going to watch the Xbox Showcase. We'll talk about it on Monday. And the other ones. And then next week, probably on Tuesday, will be the surprise Nintendo Direct. They're saying the rumors are that's going to be on Tuesday. We don't know, but that's what the rumors say. The rumors are saying that. What should I work on next? I should build the chest next, I think. I've decided I want to build the chest and the crotch. We built the head. I can just kind of freeform this shit. Just see what's up. But I do want to do this piece. Remove that. This is the piece that will light up once I do things to it. Like this. Now there will be some way in which this lights up, and you'll need something to activate it, but it will light up. And so there it is. It lit up. I don't remember how to make it not do that. But whatever, it lit up. It's going now. All right, so I am going to take a pause for the cause. I'm going to talk about ways you can support the channel and what I do here. Give you a few options of ways to help me out, and then we'll get into talking about some anime that's up and whatnot. And I'll keep working on this kit, and maybe I'll figure out how to turn this light off once I put some other parts on it. I think once I build around it, the light will turn off. But right now, it's on. It's on. Hey. If you're currently a subscriber to the Build Bear Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. If you have Amazon Prime, you can link it to your Twitch account. You get a token. You can use it for anybody. If you want to use it for me, that would be great. You could be like Jam and use that. That would be neat. But yeah, subscribing is the easiest way to support me with Cash Money because you're already here on Twitch. You don't see ads. You get cool emotes. It's nice. There are other ways to support me financially. That's just the easiest one. But you can always go over onto my Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. Over on Patreon, there's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. As mentioned, the $3, $5, and $10 tier will be able to vote tomorrow on what I play next Tuesday, because the second Tuesday of every month is Patreon's choice. And I've got some fun options. So consider taking a look over on the Patreon. Let's see. We got that. I have a YouTube channel at youtube.com/PatBear over on YouTube. You can, of course, subscribe for free, and I would love for you to do that. While you're over there, consider becoming a member. For just $2 a month, you'll get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. We'll talk more about that Wednesday video in a little bit. But yeah, you get to see videos early, and it's $2 a month. It's kind of neat. Those are all monthly ways to support me. If you would like to just throw some money in the old bucket, you could do that. Consider throwing in there to my Ko-Fi or my PayPal. Everything I make through direct donations through YouTube, which includes AdSense. So watching my videos helps me out. Through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund. And from that fund, I pull money out to buy model kits and Lego sets. I bought this kit. I bought this very cool Optimus Prime. Past you is helping present me. And if you want to help out future me, you could buy something. That is a thing you could do. What was I going to say there? Now, I have a backlog of stuff that I am happy to work on. But if you're like, wait a second, Pat, what if you built something that I want you to build? You could do that. You go over to my Amazon wish list and you could buy something for me to build. In this case, there are model kits and Lego sets, inexpensive things, expensive things. There's a Lego 3-in-1 kit I just added. A bunch of different stuff here. There's some tools if that's something you'd rather do. So yeah, if you see something there and you're like, hey, I'll buy that for Pat to build, that would be great. I would love that. Consider doing so. I know that somebody messaged me who would like to remain anonymous, that they purchased something off my wish list, which is rad. And I'll be building that when it arrives. And it'll get its own dedicated video on my YouTube channel, which is nice. My alternative to Amazon is Throne. I have a wish list on Throne, which I will be updating. It appears that USA Gundam Store is already on there as a licensed partner, but also Gundam Planet is going to jump on there. So if you want to like buy something off, I'll put some stuff that Gundam Planet sells on my wish list there on Throne, and you can buy it through Gundam Planet through there, and that way it'll come to me, which I think is kind of neat. It's not updated like that yet, but I did go in there and change some stuff and switch some stuff around. That's just nice to have an alternative to Amazon because, and also Throne really cares about the individual people from the site and their addresses remaining private and their names remaining private. And that's awesome. I love that. If you want to support me and you want it to be very convoluted and complicated financially, go to USA Gundam Store. At USA Gundam Store, you can buy a gift card. They will send you an email with a gift card code. Then you can take the gift card code and you can send me a private message here on, or whisper here on Twitch, or a private message on Mastodon or Blue Sky with that gift card code, and I will use that gift card code to buy something from USA Gundam Store. I promise I'm not going to pre-order a third Gundam X kit. I thought about it. I've decided I only need to pre-order 2 Gundam X kits. I'm not getting the third one because I don't really like the design and it's expensive, so I'm not going to pre-order that. But I did pre-order 2 other Gundam X model kit reissues because they're hard to find, and I like both of those. Anyway. If you want to support me and not spend any money, join my Discord. We'll get back to building in just a moment, but I do want to just promote that I have a Discord, and I'd like you to join it. It's a nice place. You're welcome to come hang out at the Discord. Couple video links for you to check out. The most recent episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club is me talking about the fairly recent anime awards that happened. Crunchyroll's anime awards for 2026, or the year 2025 that happened this year, happened, and I mostly agree with it. So I talked about the awards and what I wish had won in some categories and why I understand why other things won in their categories and what I agreed with. And then, okay, so Kuma Baer. If you haven't seen Kuma Baer, that's my weekly anime recommendation series. Every week I recommend a different show, and there's a theme for every month. Because it's my birthday month, the theme this month is that I'm talking about mecha, because that is my favorite subgenre, is mecha series. I love a good mecha series. And I decided that I was going to talk about a giant robot series that came out the year after I was born. Golden Lighten. I think that's what the year it came out. Actually, I'm going to look that up. I might be wrong. Golden Lighten, I believe, is from the 80s. It might be from later in the 80s, but Golden Warrior Gold Lighten, or as it is referred to on High Dive, Golden Lighten, came out, yes, it ran from 1981 to 1982. This is a show that is only slightly younger than me. Golden Lighten is not a great series, but it is very good and very of its time. And the fact that High Dive has it now is fun, and you should watch a couple episodes of it. It's only subtitles. Nobody was going to license that show. It is about a young boy that finds a gold lighter, and that gold lighter transforms into a giant golden robot. And then he calls in other robots because aliens are threatening the Earth. And so the good robots have to fight the evil aliens. And also, the young boy that found Golden Lighten, he gets a bunch of his friends together, the Rambunctious Rangers, as they are subtitled, to help out as well. And it's stupid, but really fun. You should watch a couple episodes. It's on High Dive. Get High Dive for a month. Get caught up on some other stuff. Watch some good stuff that's on there. And also watch Golden Lighten. I was just so happy that I got to recommend it. I had another thing lined up for the first week, and then I found out that came out, and I was like, I'm going to fucking recommend Golden Lighten. It's got one animated GIF on Tenor I was able to find. Found the one GIF of it. Because the alien that gets melted has a symbol that is definitely not the Nazi symbol, but it is. And that's why that clip has existed on the internet. Of it melting. That was the one clip I could find. I did my best to find any other animated GIF of that show. I was like, do I have to make my own GIF? I can do it. I'm like, I might have to make my own GIF of the show, but instead I was able to find that. I should have done that. There's one Kuma Baer video that exists out there where I did it, where I used a still image, and I should have just made my own animated GIF of it. I can do that. I can take a short video clip and convert it to an anime GIF, or just run a video clip. I could have done that myself. I didn't. I should have. Anyway, before we get back into building and talk about anime and stuff, because I got anime episodes talked about. We got to talk about Witch Hat and Marriagetoxin. Before we do that, real quick, I haven't talked about it in a couple days. June 23rd, starting at 3:30 p.m. and running until ? Is my birthday subathon. My goal is to get to 90 subscribers. If I hit 90 subscribers, I will bring back a crowd favorite, a solo live stream version of 404ing It, breaking down the internet. The thing that brought me to the table, the thing that brought me to dance, my first PAX panel. I'll bring it back in July as like a one-off, and then maybe I'll put it into rotation. I don't know. But I'm bringing it back. I'll drink a terrible beverage. I'll show you Fallout 4, just crammed full of stupid mods. I downloaded a really dumb one today. I'm really excited about showing it off. I'll build some stuff. I'll open up some cards, some Magic Gathering cards. I'll do a tier maker list of tropes in anime. That's going to be a really fun stream. And also, there's new DLC for Dwarf Romantic. And I'm going to play that new DLC, the Medieval Pack. It's new paid DLC for the anniversary of the game, and also they sent it to me. So you could say it's not. I'm never going to finish that sentence. No, but I'm being that the first ever time my subathon will have some promotion. I mean, it's not. They're not like sponsoring it or anything, but yeah, they sent it to me, so they sent me a code for it. So I'll check out the Medieval Pack for that. All right, I've got some anime to talk to you about while I work on this kit. And yeah, let's get into that. I'm gonna drink some water. We're gonna transition back to the overhead camera, and we'll do all of that right now. Also, hold on. I'm going to mute myself for a second and just. All right, I'm back. Sorry. My allergies are kind of kicking my butt. So I had to take an allergy. I took an allergy pill earlier. Still kicking my butt. So I had to blow my nose there. My apologies for that. Anyway, let's keep working on this while we talk about some anime episodes. An emotional episode of Hat Atelier happened today. Kind of surprised by it. I did not see this coming, but it's a cool episode. As you may know, our girl Coco was not feeling well. And Tarda is suspecting that Queefree used some kind of spell to erase the memory of his master. So he's like, what the fuck's going on here? What are we doing here? What's happening? And so Queefree's like, hey, I'll talk to you about this another time, but right now we gotta deal. Coco has a fever. We gotta deal with this. Meanwhile, our boy Queefree isn't really even helping Coco because turns out that the locals need help with a tavern that caught on fire. And so then Tarda goes to the hospital, goes back to the hospital because he forgot his hat. So he had to go back there. And then Tarda sees that Coco's getting worse. Coco is clearly not doing well. And so he's just like, I'll try to make a medicine. But of course, he has color blindness, so he can't make a medicine. He can't really do it. I have to see how this piece goes in here, so hold on. Sorry. There's a guide piece for this, so I have to kind of like figure that out and then get in there. And Did I do it? This is the goddamn Matrix of Leadership. I just realized I'm putting the Matrix of Leadership in Optimus Prime. That's just cool. That's just a cool thing I get to do in this model kit, is I get a little tiny Matrix of Leadership, and I'm going to put it in an Optimus Prime. That's just a neat thing I get to say and do. So yeah, he wishes he's fucking pissed off that he's colorblind because he, and remembers that he was shunned. Like, oh, you forgot it was in that movie. Like I said, I have not seen it, so I've not seen Transformers 1, but yeah, the Matrix of Leadership. It's in our Optimus. P12. So, as I was saying, he wanted to be a witch. He didn't want to make accessories for witches. He wanted to be a witch himself, but couldn't because of his colorblindness. Coco, who is very sick, is like, hey, if you want, you can. Here's a spell that will break down the medicine into basic ingredients, and that might actually help you be able to make a medicine because you can, see its components, which would probably be easier for you, to recognize. And then Tarda basically does a better version of the spell, recognizes their improvements, and makes the medicine. And he's like, huh. Well, with this spell, I could I probably could do more work. I could probably do some spells this way. Coco recovers due to the medicine, and they end up crossing paths with Queefrey again. And Tarda asks Queefrey about the flash of light that he saw. And Queefrey basically goes like, I don't remember that. I'm sorry. I have no memory of that. Which we know is a lie, because he's the one that fucking used that shit. But he is basically trying to make it seem like maybe he also had his memories erased. Which, again, we know is a fucking lie. Tarda promises to carve a custom pen for Coco. Because not only did he help Coco out, she helped him out. And then he leaves. And as Coco and Queefrey go back to the atelier, a cloaked, and we don't know, like a mysterious, like, ghost shadow thing is kind of around, talking to the masked brim cap that we saw previously. And there's going to be more sabotage coming. Listen, all y'all. This is going to be some sabotage. So again, an emotional episode. Tarda, who, like, I did not expect to have strong opinions about, is just, like, fucking doing his best and seeing what's up, and has, like, a lot of motivations that I was like, oh, yeah, all right, yeah. Okay, I don't know how this piece goes in, but I need it to work, so I have to figure this out. Go like this. Go like that. Just like that, and then, yeah, okay. Let's see. Yeah. So yeah, I thought it was a good good episode, and again, more emotionally resonant than I was expecting, and now we're certainly setting up more shit to come. And they've been kind of unable to do this to me previously, but I did walk away from this episode happy that Coco was okay. Because sometimes when things happen to Coco, I'm like, well, yeah, Coco. You kind of keep fucking shit up. All right, so I don't know how this piece is supposed to go in. Go like this? No. All right, I have to make sure this is is this B15? Yeah, this is B15. This piece goes like that. There are 2 pegs that go in here, and they go into those. Oh, they go into those. Okay. I got very confused about this piece. I was looking at them in the wrong positions here. It goes into this. There we go. That's how this looks. And then other parts are going to go in there. Okay. I did not understand that. And now I do. That goes like that. And then that goes like, ooh, the matrix of leadership lights up. Hell yeah, it does. Good old matrix of leadership. The matrix of leadership lights up, and the head is going to light up when I put the head on here when it's done, because it's not done yet, so I don't want to do it yet until we body complete this thing, but that's going to go. And then the eyes light up, kind of. Hell yeah. Kick ass, Optimus Prime. All right. Marriagetoxin. How do I put this? So obviously this is a crazy ass show, right? It's about a guy who is an assassin from, he's part of a clan of poison assassins, and there's masters and all this other stuff, and he's fought people who are like allergic to water, and just like a lot of weird shit, right? They got fucking weirder into some like borderline eugenic shit, like some weird ass shit is happening. But basically, Hikaru is going to try to protect a low-ranking member of the Beast Clan. Turns out that she's the hamster master, and it turns out that she's like from a branch family of the Beast Clan, Arashiyama. And she's like, I'm in some fucking trouble here. And there's also a guy going around and killing people in various clans. The hunter, which we turned out that person is like not the problem. Nakagawa is not the issue. Nakagawa is killing people, but he's just going after the ones that are like aren't just assassinating clients. They're like targeting innocent people and doing some weird fucked up shit. Oops, I put this piece on without putting another piece on it. I fucked up. I gotta take this piece off. I did it again. So they're traveling to this island because they have to find a cure. They got to get the blood back for Arashiyama because her blood is getting drained. So they head to this island. There's a sea serpent, a giant squid. Our boy dispatches that shit real easy. It is cool. This episode has some very fucking cool action scenes. They really went out of their way to make this shit whip ass. Where's E? Where is E? Here's E. Okay. Couldn't find this sprue. I found it. This one really whips ass. A lot of cool fights in this one. Arashiyama gets carried away by a fucking eagle. And we meet Koto, who is not an eagle master, so he's from a branch family. Koto attacks with seagulls. And Hikaru uses a smoke bomb to distract all of the birds, and then punches the shit out of Koto and knocks him out. Just like real cool. His constrictor activates, and this Koto guy through him. There's the Beastmaster Dogo, Toshihiro Dogo. And apparently, he just says, like, yeah, I mean, I'm doing all this. Yeah, there's a good reason I'm doing all this. Our master plan. We're going to combine DNA with different masters across different clans to make new, stronger branches. And it's just like, oh, okay, you could just marry people off. You don't need to steal their blood and kidnap them. What? It's fucked up. It's fucked up. As you might imagine, it's all pretty fucked up. And then he activates Kodo with DNA from the fallen Spearmaster. Gotta have a hobby since Lord Crashington. I don't know about that one. So the Spearmaster. So now there is a bird Spearmaster. Nakagawa, the hunter, ends up on the island with Mei, and they run into a polar bear. So they have to deal with a polar bear. But meanwhile, Koto, the now bird Spearmaster, after some fighting, loses control of all his birds. All his birds suddenly just all die. And that's because they pecked at our boy, and they all got poisoned by his blood. They all got drugged. And then eventually, Kodo just fucking falls over and dies. Our guy did not kill him because apparently the cross sanguation is usually rejected by the body and you die, which to me feels like, then stop fucking doing it. If it's just going to kill people, don't worry about it. And apparently, if they want to save Arashiyama, they need the blood of the beast, Dogo, Toshiro Dogo. They need his blood if they want to save her. Let's see. The polar bear grabs something from Nakagawa. That's the beast, the hunter, from his neck. Apparently, that was a leech, because that was not a bear. That was not a polar bear. It was someone named Byakko who was in a polar bear skin fighting them. And now unfortunately, they have Nakagawa's DNA. And then also, the seagulls had some of Hikaru's blood. And now Toshiro has not only Nakagawa's blood, but he has Toshiro's blood, or Hikaru's blood, and realizes that the Poison Clan DNA is the perfect catalyst for combining DNA. Apparently, it just works real good, probably because they're immune to poisons. I assume that's why. We'll find out probably more. This shit's fucked. Anyway, the chest of opens up here, and I don't remember how to get this thing to activate. I don't remember if there's a good way to. I don't remember how to get the light to light up. I know that on the master class, there's like a little thing that activates it. On this one, I can't remember if it's like it's like a tap. You have to like tap the head and then it comes on. So yeah, the Matrix of Leadership opens. And then you can see the Matrix Leadership there. That's just cool. That's just fucking cool, y'all. All right, let me panel line this a little bit. Use some black marker. These kits don't really need marker, but I think it does add a little bit of a pop. So I am doing a light marker on here. Again, Marriagetoxin. Already a fucking crazy ass show. And it got fucking crazier. Because now we've got DNA combining to make masters stronger. Some seemingly against their will in many cases. So that's fucking wild and weird. I was expecting more villains of the week. I was not expecting like this might take a while villain. We'll see what happens. But it's good. The show's really good. I am pleasantly surprised at Marriagetoxin. I heard good things about it, but I've never read it. I'm going to have to read it once the season is done. I'll go in and read. I don't want to read because I know if I get all the volumes, in all the chapters, I will get past where we are in the anime, and I don't want that. So I gotta go in and read it after. But yeah, I've been really fucking enjoying this one. It's a really good series, really well animated. They're a lot of fun. We have some time left in the stream, so I would like to hear from you, friends. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you up to? What are you into? What do you got going on? What's happening with you? I always like hearing from people about what they're got going on gaming-wise, or if you're watching anything, you've been in the movies lately, or watching anything on demand. I always want to know what's going on. What do you got up to? On Tuesday, I played the brand new game Hourlands, and I recommend you get it. It's like $5. I think it's $4.50 right now on sale on Steam. It's also on Epic. Get it. It's a really fun video game. I know that Graham is going to continue to work on it. Graham was in the chat. He was here on Tuesday on his fucking game launched, and he came by to hang out, which is really kind and really nice of him. Okay, I still don't know how to get this thing to activate. I thought I knew. Oh yeah, tapping it kind of does that. All right. It was really nice that Graham stopped by and chatted with us. I know that he has said that he's going to continue expanding that game, and there'll be more to do. It might be just right now like an hour, 2-hour experience, and you might come back to it later. But it is a chill video game. I thought it was neat. I thought it was very neat. So I recommend Hourlands. Yeah, there's other stuff going on out there for me. Played a little Helldivers 2. I hadn't played that in a while, so I played a little of that yesterday. Watched wrestling last night. Mercedes Monet blew up my fucking my picks for the tournament. My tournament picks for the Women's Owen. Mercedes Monet returned. I feel bad. Okay, so I feel bad because she took Willow Nightingale's spot, who is injured. If Willow was the planned person who was going to win the whole thing, I feel very bad that she got hurt and now couldn't be in the tournament. If the plan was for Alex Windsor to win the whole thing, which I originally assumed Alex was going to win it right next to her fiance, and they're getting married this summer, right next to Will Ospreay. And I thought they were both going to win it. And I was like, oh, that's cute. They'll both win it. That's nice. Mercedes won. So I'm like, man, I fucking feel if they changed it and they were like, actually, you're not going to win the tournament. We're going to have Mercedes win it. I feel bad. There's also a chance that like Mercedes loses. Mercedes could lose to Athena. She could lose to, I don't think she's going to lose to Hazuki or Persephone. But I'll be honest, they overbooked that main event so hard I thought Ospreay was also going to lose. That was fucking fun, Lashbrook. I'm going to say, Lashbrook, I know it was overbooked, but it was fun overbooked. It was like nonsense. It just built and built and built, and it protected, like both men, I feel like, and was just like over the top in a really fun way. I had a great time with that main event. I thought it was a fun bunch of bullshit. Really popped the crowd in a way that I was like, yeah, I'm into it. But yeah, no, I thought Mercedes won. I think now we don't know like the other side of the bracket. We don't really know what's going to go on there. My assumption is we're going to get Athena beat Sari, but we could get Sari versus like, I'm going to say this right now. The winner of this tournament is either Athena or Mercedes Moné. I do not think someone from Stardom is going to win and be one of the big matches at All In. I just don't see that happening. So I think it's going to be, again, Athena can beat Mercedes, I think, and it would make sense. But Mercedes coming back winning the Owen back-to-back, headlining, or being a major match, and they can promote that for a long time as the person who can beat Tekla. Like, I mean, maybe she'd put Tekla over, but I feel like then you put the world title on, and then Willow Nightingale can come back and fight for the world title, who was presumably the person that was going to win the world title, was going to be in that main event spot, that big match spot. Because Willow is the one that took off the TBS title from Mercedes. So then you got a built-in story there. I don't know if that's how that's going to go down, but I could see that being how that shit goes down. Laura Crashton says, I played Donkey Kong 64 on Switch 2 and realized the yeah that gets said a bit in the game sounds like your yeah soundbite. The game is okay. Yeah. I do feel like this is inspired by Donkey Kong 64. I would say that my is inspired. I don't want to say it's a copy, but I could see that. I've never thought of that, but I can see it. Lashbrook says, I'll be honest that they overbooked the main event so hard I thought Ospreay was also going to lose. I did not expect Mark Davis to move on. The men's side, Lashbrook, has been very obvious that we are getting Swerve Strickland versus Will Ospreay. Now, is there a chance that Swerve could win it? There's a chance that Swerve wins the Owen. But I think it's Will. I think Will main events, headline main events, all in because they're back in London. I think that's just how we're gonna do. I think that's just how that's gonna play out. Last person also says, I've been playing a bunch of Marathon. The Night Marsh survival experiment until tonight was bugged, and there were no rooks you could just run in like PvP. It's fun to learn the map and get codex entries. Very spooky map. Yeah, have not touched that. That's literally tomorrow. Tomorrow, one of my crew has played some of it, and the rest of us are going in pretty blind, and we're relying on him to convey what the fuck is happening. So we'll see how that fucking goes. Why is this not connecting? Did I put this on wrong? It'd be very difficult to put this on. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I put, no, this is on right. Okay. So this went on like that, no problem. This piece goes on like this. There it is. Okay, I don't know why I couldn't get that on right, but I could not get that on right. I do like the no-tool builds. It's nice to do a no-tool build. When I do the wing entry grade, that's a no-tool build, so that'll be fun to do on stream if we get enough subscribers, but hopefully we will. Hopefully we will. Other things going on with me. As far as wrestling goes, last night I thought was a fun show. I thought that Roosh versus MJF was solid. MJF apparently hurt his knee a bit and had to cancel his appearance. He was going to be at Beyond Wrestling. That was apparently, according to him, that was going to be his last indie show for a while so he could focus on being world champ. In kayfabe, he was talking about how, like, he lost the belt to Darby because he was, like, running around doing too much. So he's got to focus on that because he didn't want to lose the belt again, which I thought was a fun bit of kayfabe. But in reality, dude hurt himself. So now he's got to fucking take it easy. But, it was a shame for his opponent, which is just a fucking fantastic name for an indie wrestler, Bobby Orlando. Bobby Orlando continues to have a kick-ass, fantastic name for an indie wrestler. Just so fucking good. Goddamn Bobby Orlando. But yeah, it's a shame that they have to postpone that. Dirty says, been playing a bunch of H6 checked out a game about feeding a black hole. It was a time killer that should not be played on a work night. Oop, yep, one of those. I hear you. Sometimes you get those and you're just like, oh, shit. You've been putting time in a black hole, apparently. Ha ha! Nailed it. All right, this is the waste. I'm going to panel line this, and then we'll put it together. I guess I should do a poll for about what I should work on next for my $10 patrons, because I think I'm definitely going to finish this tomorrow. You know what? I'll wait till Saturday. I guess was thinking of Orlando Jones when I was wondering if someone already had that name. Yeah, no. As far as I know, Bobby Orlando is the first wrestler to use the name Bobby Orlando. Sounds like he's a singer. Special guest, Bobby Orlando. It's not until July, but I'm hyped for Summer Sun Princess from Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, because one of my favorites in the company, Arisu Endo, is having a singles match against Aja Kong. It is a rite of passage. It is them saying, Tokyo Joshi saying, Aja Kong fucking rules, and if she beats you and gives you respect after, that means that Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling thinks that you are on the come up and you're on your way up for bigger and better things. And so Arisu getting this opportunity is phenomenal, and I'm so fucking stoked for it. That's in July. She's going to die, but it's going to be beautiful. She'll get the show respect from Aja Kong. It's fucking phenomenal. Aja at this point is just a mid-boss, a traveling mid-boss, comes in, beats up somebody, a promising talent, and then everyone points to that promising talent and says, that person's promising, because Aja thinks that. It's a good vote of confidence. Lashbrook also played the Defrag Incremental demo. Pretty short demo that I'm not sure needs the meta work shift narrative when you count your daily pay and expenses. Okay. Yeah, I know a few people that were hyped for that, and I was looking at it going like, I don't quite get why people are so hyped for this. I do not see the vision on that one. I do not get it the way some people are raving about that. I think the concept is cool, but when I looked at that demo, I wasn't blown away. I have not played it myself though, but yeah, I don't know. Sometimes you just don't get it, I'm guilty of that. Sometimes there are things that people like, and I'm like, do not understand. Do not understand why people are hyped about that shit. Yeah, I think we're definitely going to finish this kit on Saturday. There's no way we won't finish this on Saturday, because all we have is the arms and legs left. I'm gonna have to run a poll. I'm gonna have to run a poll tomorrow. Tomorrow I will run the poll for what I'm building next, because I'm going to need to know by Saturday. And Saturday, I'll run a poll for my $3, $5, and $10 patrons about what I do on Tuesday. And I can tell you, the poll is going to have some cool shit. Oh, we got a gun here that we're going to augment with some parts. That's fun. We can do that. Oh, there was a different face. There is a. I didn't realize that there was an alternate face we could put on here. We can put on the face that has like a mouth, or the one that's covered. Hey, which do you like more? The one that has like a little bit of a mouth there, or the one that's covered like it's battle time? I guess I could try. I could put both of them on there, and we could see. I think I like that face. I think I like the mask version, but I don't know. Let me know in the chat. I was about to say, let me know in the comments, and that's not accurate. Let me know in the chat if you have any preferences for that. What was I going to say? Yeah, all right. So I'll run a poll tomorrow about what I build next for my $10 patrons, and then Saturday I'll run a poll about what I do on Tuesday. And there are a couple options. There is a game that I have purchased already. There are a couple demos I want to check out. We could do a demo stream. And then there is a game that I want to do achievements in. You know which one that is. And those are going to be the 3 ones. I played the demo of Pixel Washer. Yeah, I also have that demo. 2D top-down version of Power Simulator with fun memory stage. We clean off the backs of cards to flip them over to see what they are to find the matches. Yes. Yeah, I want to try out that demo. I have the demo downloaded. I got that demo early, I want to say. Humble brag. I got that demo early to check it out. And I was like, I'm checking this demo out. But I haven't streamed it yet. Now I can because everyone has the demo, but all right. So I kind of like this as an option, the covered up mask face, but I want to see what I think about when I put it all together and have the light go on. If I like the whole face version more, or if I just like the covered up going to war version, going to battle. I think I like the other version. I think I like this better. I think I like this. I think I like the mask covered more than I like the mouth. So I think I'm going to switch it back. That's my opinion. If you purchase this kit and put it together, you can do a different way. You'll have that option. Also, we can panel line this gun a little bit here. But yeah, I mean, I keep in the other one, but right now, I think I like this one better. Hey, I said what I said, Lord Crashington. Anyway, yeah, all right. So tomorrow, $10 patrons voting on what I build next. Let's see. Do I have anything? When I have... Yes, I know that there's something in the mail, but I don't know when I'm getting that. I did get a message from somebody. They're like, hey, I bought something for you to build. But I think that's coming like Monday, so... Or Sunday or Monday, so... I'm going to start something new on Saturday. So that'll be something I build after that. And then... Oh, you know what? Hold on. Where is that? Let me see. A kit I bought from USA Gundam Store is USA Gundam Store has now does a lot of Amazon shipping. They use Amazon shipping, I guess, to save money because they're paying more for tariffs and they don't want to pass the cost on. It's kind of a fucking bummer, I'll say. Oops, sorry. I don't find it great that they do that, but they do. But I did get a shipping notification. And you copy the link and open it up over here. So we look to see when that's coming. When is this thing coming? That's coming on Saturday. So I don't want to include it because what if it doesn't show up on Saturday? Because right now, the latest update was that it left today in the morning. It left Florida. So it'll probably be here on Saturday. But what I don't want to do is put it up for voting and then have someone vote on it. And then that's the next thing we'll work on. And it didn't show up. That's just, not cool. So I will do a poll for my $10 patrons tomorrow. It will not include that, the thing that is currently in the mail because it has not arrived yet. So I can't include a thing that has not arrived yet. But when it does arrive, you bet your ass that I will, that it'll be up for voting. I have some good stuff in my backlog though. So I do have some options for people about what I can work on here. And again, I did order that Sega Genesis. That hasn't arrived yet. So that can't be on the poll. I have the Atlas Gundam, the Bokadas Gelgoog, the Chaos Gundam No Grade, Charzaku, the G-Quux version. I have the Gundam G-Self with the Perfect Pack, which is the kit that I got from Facebook Marketplace. This is my first Facebook Marketplace purchase of a model kit. I can get rid of that. I have the Lego Sonic the Hedgehog Cyclone versus Metal Sonic Lego set. I have the Murasame Kai kit. I think that arrived. That's not. I don't think that's a pre-order. I think that's in my backlog. Pretty sure it's in my backlog. I'll have to look. I have some options. And then I have the things coming in the mail, and then I have the thing that's coming in the mail. So those will get added to my list of things to build at some point. Yeah. We'll see. I'll probably put up like the Lego set and 2 model kits, and we'll see what wins for my $10 patrons. I should put the things in that they voted for last time because, like I said, I had to be the deciding vote last time. This won by me deciding I wanted to work on it. It won the poll because of me. So I should put those other 2 back in there. And again, I am interested in the Facebook one because we'll have to talk about it. There's a lot to talk about with that. So that might win the poll just because now I've mentioned it. But also, maybe one of the other ones will win the poll. I don't know. All right, we got our Optimus with the Matrix of Leadership here. We're gonna finish this on Saturday night and talk about a bunch of gaming stuff. Probably all gaming stuff. We might even have to talk in the second hour. We might have to talk about more gaming stuff because Summer Game Fest, there might be just so much to fucking chat about. There also might be games at Summer Game Fest that I go, you know what? I didn't want to talk about that. And so then I just don't talk about it. I don't know. Let me take a photo here. Right. Camera. Photo. Cool. All right, that well, yes. I always show up at the end. Oh well, yeah, Matt. I am getting close to wrapping up the stream. My streams run from 9 p.m. to usually like a couple minutes before 11, because I have found that for model kit building streams, after 2 hours, I just get bad at model kits. We'll say worse at model kits because maybe I'm not terrible and maybe I'm never good, but I get just worse at what I'm doing when we get into that. So I always try to keep the 2 hours for the building. But we are going to go on a raid, folks. We do end every stream with a raid. We're going to go find somebody doing cool stuff that we want to go hang out with and spend some time with, see what they're up to. So I hope you will join me for that. Not everybody comes along on raids, but it would be nice if you did because I try to pick cool people. Not always model kit building, sometimes model kit building. Well, thank you for the follow, Matt. I appreciate that. Hope you can come back and you'll be able to catch a stream when I'm actually building. Let's see. How long has this person been going? I like to look to see how long my friends have been streaming because I don't want to jump in if they've been going for like a long time. Oh yeah, no, she's probably going to wrap up. So who should we go raid? Who should we go raid? I think they're going to wrap up soon. Matt Wiggins is playing Marathon. That's always a good time. Only been going for about an hour. Probably playing with people that I know. Maybe not. Matt's good people, and we can check out some cool shit going on in Marathon. Just vibe with a cool crew. So let's go do that. Feel free to come along on this raid. I would love it if you did. Reminder, my next stream will be Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern. I will be finishing the BLOKEES Optimus Prime Classic class, and that I will be starting something new And I don't even know what that is yet, but I will find out. And you can find out when you come and hang out on Saturday. And we'll talk about Summer Game Fest and all that. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope to see you on the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.